Belal Muhammad should be shipped off to a nice little retirement community. The middleweight division should be bombed. I think we just eliminate that division entirely. And I might actually be on the EU Baraniewski train. Ladies and gentlemen, these are all the things that we have learned and that we are going to learn on the Money Manziel MMA channel today as we do a full fight card recap of UFC Vegas 118, Muhammad versus Bonfim. We're not going to waste any time. If you're excited for me to... I'll be honest with you, I'm going to have to fight off saying some stuff about Belal Muhammad today. So if you're excited for that, then subscribe down below. I greatly appreciate it. Let's talk about it, man. Listen, in the main event, Gabriel Bonfim 50-45's Belal Muhammad. And listen, before we talk about Belal, it's not to take anything away from Bonfim, rather. I think he's a very good fighter. He goes out there, he gives you a solid jab. He's very fundamentally sound. Good jab, good low kicks. He can kind of do it all. But that's not what we're here to talk about. You got to understand this, man. Belal Muhammad made his killing. He made his money, all right? Wrestling people. He spent forever shooting takedowns every 5 seconds, being the most boring fighter of all time. You wanted to stab your eyes out watching Belal Muhammad fight back in the day. In Belal Muhammad last night, Saturday night, of course, recording this in the early morning hours, this guy goes out there. He thinks he's Floyd fucking Mayweather. Off the back foot, trying to throw jabs, ones and twos, high kicks. What are you doing? Who do you think you are? You're not Canelo. I literally think Belal Muhammad has gained so much CTE since the Ian Gary and JDM fights that he's said Canelo hands so much he thinks he's Canelo Alvarez. That is the only excuse. This guy, Belal Muhammad, has been saying he's Canelo Alvarez for so long, the CTE has convinced him he is Canelo. That's why he didn't shoot a takedown. He's legitimately thinking in his brain, I'm Canelo Alvarez. I'm gonna win this fight boxing. I'm a great boxer. I'm Canelo Alvarez, guys. And he doesn't shoot a takedown. That's the only thing you're good at. You're useless on the feet. You have no power. You have no fear factor, intimidation. What do you do on the feet? You do nothing. This guy thinks he's Robert Whittaker throwing 1-2 high kicks off the back foot. Brother, who do you think you are? You have like 3 KOs in your career. Oh my god, dude. Guys standing KO Sean Brady one time 4 years ago, and they think they're the greatest striker of all time. Brother, it's over. Retire. Don't fight again. Okay, it's ridiculous that I have to sit here and watch 5 rounds after being so confident that the guy who is a good wrestler, a volume and pressure wrestler who dismantled Leon Edwards. I know Leon, maybe in hindsight, there's some questions there, but the guy dismantled Leon Edwards, and he goes out here versus a guy who got taken down 4 times by Ange Lusa, and he couldn't shoot a takedown? He shoots one actual attempt at a takedown in round 3, and that's it. That's all he does. What do you do? I don't understand. I don't get it. Are you putting in a full training camp for 10 or 12 weeks, and your coaches are telling you, yeah, Belal, dude, I think the best strategy, man, is take the back foot, accept that you're going to be pushed back, which is terrible for a wrestler, accept the back foot, only throw strikes which have 0 power in them, and just lose a 50-45. I think that's the way to do it, Belal. I think that's the move. There is no way that a gun was not put to Belal Muhammad's head. Okay, we watched Movsar strike for 5 rounds straight, but Belal striking for 5 rounds straight without even thinking of shooting a takedown, there's something going on here. Someone is in this man's pocketbooks. They were in the checkbook. Something was going on for Belal Muhammad to not have shot a takedown. This is the exact same that I felt about Colby Covington versus Leon Edwards. The matchup is so stylistically in favor of one guy. Leon Edwards, who would have struggled with pressure wrestling, we saw that versus Belal, and yet Colby decides to not shoot takedowns. What are you doing, man? It's so ridiculous that I have to pretend this is a real sport. And Belal, remember the name Muhammad, is getting 50-45 by a Nicholas Dalby victim, man. What are we... I just... Unbelievable stuff, man. You can't make it up. You tell everybody no, man, I really think Belal's going to put in a masterclass here. He's going to turn in the clock. Unks have been doing it all year, man. Belal's good. Don't worry. Fucking Islam Makhachev, don't worry, Belal Muhammad's here, And then Belal goes out there and puts up the worst performance I've ever seen in his career. He should retire. He has nothing left to give to the sport. I'm over Belal Muhammad after that performance. I feel bad for the guy. I do. But what do I feel bad for? You chose to stand at range on the back foot for 5 rounds straight, putting out 0 actual effective offense for a majority of the fight. Barely wrestling whatsoever. He landed a couple of good right hands in round 1. Otherwise, he had nothing for Gabriel Bonfim. I do not understand the strategy to stand for 25 minutes straight. It is a guaranteed loss against almost any competent striker versus Belal Muhammad. Yeah, that's my opinion on the fight. We're going to move on before I start getting real angry in a second here. Good win for Gabriel Bonfim, though. Let's move on, man, to another fight that pissed me off. Brendan Allen versus Edmund Shahbazyan. Now, I want to be very clear. Brendan Allen is the number 4 middleweight on the planet. All right, that means that there are only the guys ranked 3rd, 2nd, 1st, and the champion who are designated as better than him in the rankings. If there are only 4 185ers on the planet that are better than Brendan Allen, then we need to nuke the entire middleweight division. This guy just had a competitive fight with a dude named Edmund. Edmund Shahbazyan is a GM3 victim as of 2 years ago. This is a guy who's been a victim of every single decent fighter he's ever faced. Okay, I mean, what are we even talking about here? Edmund Shahbazyan is not good. He's a gas bag who only has a right hand, and you saw that in the fight. He had nothing to offer other than a right hand the entire time, and yet he's piecing up Brendan Allen, giving him a jab in the face. Edmund Shahbazyan developed a jab at fucking 30, or how old is this guy, like 27? He developed a jab at like 28 years old. Okay, I mean, this guy goes out there, he's jabbing Brendan Allen's face off. This guy's emoting. Brendan Allen's like shaking his finger. He thinks he's fucking Dikembe Mutombo, shaking his finger at range, saying, no, no, no. Brother, you're getting touched up by a guy named Edmund. This guy's unranked, and you're the number 4 middleweight on the planet, and you're going to a competitive fight. It was not 30-27. Edmund won round 2. It was very close the entire time. Brendan Allen, I mean, listen, we all knew he's not a top 4 level middleweight. I mean, it is what it is. But to me, yes, he looked good boxing. Oh my god, man, a guy looked good technically boxing versus Edmund Shahbazyan. Big fucking surprise. I saw that on Twitter everywhere. I don't know, man, this is Brendan Allen's best. I actually think this was Brendan Allen's best technical boxing performance. You know, the people that have got like a monocle on and are smoking a fucking cigar. You know what I mean? Brother, it's Edmund Shahbazyan. Okay, I don't know. It's like saying someone had a good technical boxing performance versus Patchy Mix. Oh my god, no. Dude, who has a good performance against Patchy Mix? I mean, Brendan Allen wins the fight. He did what he had to do. It was a big risk. He didn't need to take it. He was definitely strong-armed by his management in the UFC into taking it, but I don't even know what you do with this guy next. I heard that Joe Pyfer needs an opponent. Maybe do him versus Joe Pyfer on that Philly card. Who fucking knows, man? Brendan Allen, good for you. I think it's kind of a disgrace that he couldn't finish Edmund Shahbazyan, to be honest with you, but that's a conversation for a separate day. And let's move on to the featured fight, man. Honestly, kind of a weird fight here, man. Not the most entertaining in the world. I don't know how to feel about this one. First of all, I was blinded by the Ziam love on Twitter, alright? I said that I always have thought that Ziam is incredibly overrated. You get 85 people every single day on social media that tell you that Ziam is the next champion. Oh, he's a bad matchup for everybody at lightweight, man. He's so nasty. You know, and this guy went to a split decision with Claudio Puelles. Claudio Puelles is one of the worst fighters on the roster. And Ziam went to a split decision with him. Oh my god, man. You know, who goes to a crafty leg entanglement 15-minute decision versus Mike Davis? I mean, I picked Nazim Sadykhov to beat him because I was so confident. I just forgot that I did that and picked Ziam. Tom Nolan kind of outdid him in the grappling, slammed him down a couple of times in the first 2 rounds. Felt like he kind of had the edge. On the feet, Ziam felt like the cleaner guy, actually. But he was so willing to engage in the grappling, which is the mistake of him, to be honest with you, just kind of a dumb person. It's all these French guys, man. These French guys come out here, and they think they're a prime Khabib, they think they're a prime Daniel Cormier. They're going out there and engaging in wrestling for zero reason whatsoever, and they don't need to. Tom Nolan wins the fight. Good for him. Do I think he beats anybody in the rankings outside of like a Beneil Dariush? No. But I like Tom Nolan. Good to see an Aussie in the lightweight top 15. It's always good to see that. I don't know who to give him next. They said Moicano. I doubt that happens. We're going to move on to the next fight, which is one I badly want to talk about. Bryce Mitchell versus Santiago Luna. Now listen, first things first. Bryce Mitchell, very good performance. Shut down Santiago Luna across 15 minutes. I will say this. If Bryce Mitchell had a last name that ended in OV, he would be called a terrorist to the UFC on every social media platform that exists. Blue Sky, they'd be calling him a terrorist. Twitter, they'd be calling him a terrorist. Instagram, YouTube, Reddit, they'd be like unlocking 4chan again and be calling him a terrorist over there. I mean, absolutely insane. If he had a Russian last name, they'd be calling this guy the worst. He'd be worse than Hitler. for what he did out there, okay? Zero offense, boring as fuck, but he got the submission late. That is not what we're here to talk about, and it was a good win for Bryce Mitchell. I'm happy that he got the finish late in the fight, too. Regardless, Santiago Luna. Let's talk about this for a second. I legitimately believe that everybody on the Jackson podcast sells their soul. You go on that Jackson podcast, you make a deal with that guy, Bear, or whatever his name is, you give away every single brain cell in your body. Santiago Luna's hyped up as this boxing champion. He's so good. He's the next young thing at 21 years old. He's got a nasty jab. He's such a good boxer, whatever. Why are you wrestling? This guy is the reason the fight went to the ground all 3 rounds. Engaging in the clinch. He pulled guard at one point. He engaged in the guard play of Bryce Mitchell in round 3. Every time they were on the feet, he had success. But he would engage in the wrestling. What are you doing, man? It doesn't even make sense. I mean, I've been yelling this whole fight card, but, I mean, you gotta be so fucking stupid to be Santiago Luna. It's a big moment for you. Short notice, Bryce Mitchell, this is a winnable fight. It's a winnable fight. I don't get it, man. You have to be, oh my god, dude. It's like, this guy's still older than me, so I can make fun of him, just as the younger guy here, but I don't get it. I really do not understand what Santiago Luna was doing during this fight. It baffles me that someone could attempt to wrestle Bryce Mitchell across 15 minutes when they have a clear striking advantage and a clear grappling disadvantage and think that that is the smart move. I'm sure that's what his coaches told him to do before the fight. Anyways, man, one more fight to talk about on the main card. Baraniewski goes out there and finishes Junior Tafa with efficiency. Walks out there, leg kicks him twice, puts him down, finishes him. Junior Tafa is the most useless UFC fighter of all time. I don't know what he does. He's an overhand right, and that is it. He gets finished in every single fight he's ever been in. This is a Tuco Tokos victim, and you've got people on Twitter, oh my god, the real analysts of the sport. I don't know, man. Junior Tafa might actually catch him with the KO shot. I'm going to pick Junior Tafa to win here, man. What are you talking about? It's these people that are so performatively smart, and they're, oh my god, they're giving you a real technical breakdown of the sport. How does a technical breakdown work for a guy that's 7-6 in MMA? Oh my, what, it didn't work the first 5 times that you thought he was going to land an overhand right and KO the guy? Get the fuck out of here, man. It's just so ridiculous to people that think they're so smart about Junior Tafa. Baraniewski went out there, leg kicked him, got him down, fucking finished him. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot else to talk about there. Iwu's pretty good, though, man. I'm kind of curious to see how this guy looks going forward. I do like this guy in general as a fighter. Do I believe that he's the next light heavyweight champ? No. I think that Yakiaev would give him issues. I think that Navo Sterling would give him issues. But I do like Iwu nonetheless. We believe in you, Iwu. And good win for him overall, man. Junior Tafa should be cut. He's a disgrace to Australia. Let's move on, man. Next up, kind of a weird one here. Alessandro Costa versus Matt Schnell. One of the cool things about this card to me was there were a lot of first-round finishes. If there were some boring fights, there were at least a lot of first-round finishes to kind of even things out. Alessandro Costa goes out there. Whenever Matt Schnell fights, it feels like it's a matter of time until a big right hand puts him down. Costa eventually, after Schnell's having success early in the fight, Costa lands a big right hand, chicken legs Matt Schnell bad. Matt Schnell then goes in on a single kind of out of a reactive holy shit I'm hurt moment, eats 15 unanswered without attempting to move, and then as soon as the referee changes the position, all of a sudden Matt Schnell is perfectly fine. It was a very weird stoppage, but I would never complain about it as a fan because, I mean, what is Herb supposed to do? Matt Schnell, a guy who's gone out cold like 25 times in MMA, is laying there not moving or reacting to 15 unanswered strikes to the side of the head. And what, you're not supposed to stop the fight after he was already chicken-legged? Matt Schnell being upset about that stoppage doesn't even make any sense to me. You were wobbled, you knew you were wobbled. This guy claimed he wasn't hurt, and there's active film of him being chicken-legged. So, I don't really know how to feel about it. But, I mean, it's Matt Schnell, man. I mean, less brain damage, the better for this guy. I mean, being chinny at flyweight is kind of a disgrace, to be honest with you. But Alessandro Costa, good for him. I'm pretty sure this was short notice for him to come in. So, big win for him in his career. You got to respect that. And we're going to move on to the next fight, which is Marcus McGhee versus John Yannis here. Now, this is kind of an interesting one, right? I thought McGhee was going to walk out there, walk right through John Yannis, blitz through him, whether he grapples and finds a sub, or he goes out there, puts a big left hand on him, finishes him in round 1, and we move on to third days. But instead, what we got was a really fun fight to me, man. Marcus McGhee was styling on him early, really leading the dance, throwing a lot of cool shit on the feet in round 1, dominated that round. Round 2, it started the same, but then Yannis out of nowhere kind of started standing his ground on punches, throwing nasty little rips to the body at certain moments in that round, and kind of landing up top with big right hands. Marcus McGhee still won all 3 rounds, in my opinion, and McGhee ended up having way more volume in round 3. Yannis was just tired at that point, I think. But not a performance that Yannis should hold his head down on at all. I thought he looked very, very good. And it kind of makes me think that maybe his next fight, if they give him kind of a pick-em odds situation, I'm going to lean his way. So, Marcus McGhee looked good. Good to see him bounce back after a long layoff. I believe it was like 11 months since his last fight versus Petr Yan. So, good to see him get a win. He's old, though, so he's got to get moving. He needs more fights. He needs them pronto. He needs to get on that Kevin Holland schedule. So, good win for Marcus McGhee. Shout out to him. We're going to move on, man. Bruno Silva versus Edgar Chairez, a fight I was incredibly wrong about. I like Edgar Chairez. I understand his losses are to Joshua Van and Tatsuro Taira in the UFC, but I just figured Bruno Silva would get him down. Chairez would try and throw up triangles, arm bars, whatever, and Silva would just kind of grind him out to a decision. However, instead, Edgar Chairez dropped him bad with a right hand early. He then had a nasty little, I love that combo, dude, that he landed on Silva. That uppercut left hook to finish it off. And then jump on him for the rear naked choke. Nasty finishing sequence and a club and sub for Edgar Chairez. He's really good, man. I like him a lot as a fighter. I just think his style is so fun and a lot of finishes. So happy to see him get into the rankings over an aging Bruno Silva. Should I have picked him? Probably. Did I? No. That is the moral of the story on this channel. So let's move on to the next fight on this card, which was Priscilla Castañeda and Chelsea Chandler. You can click off the video here. I know you don't want to hear about these 3 women's MMA fights and Jordan Levitt, but basically, I picked Priscilla Castañeda. I figured she'd hurt Chelsea Chandler, and she kind of did in moments. Was landing big on her on the feet. Chelsea Chandler's kind of a feeble striker, but Priscilla Castañeda also has no chin, and given that she has no chin, her move defensively is to leave it wide open in the air. She got clipped and hurt. Chelsea Chandler jumped on the back, which was game over at that point. Castañeda was literally never put on a gi in her life. She got submitted. Quick armbar. I will say, this girl being from the same city or town as the Diaz bros is kind of hard to believe, but Chelsea Chandler got a good submission victory. You got to feel good for the girl. It was a good win for her. Happy to see her come back after a layoff and win. I know she's been memed to hell, so always happy to see people kind of have a redemption story in that way. Good win for Chelsea Chandler. Let's move on to the next fight. Jordan Levitt and Chandler and Brito. I was super happy about my prediction here. Brito is very good takedown defense. I know that Pat Sabatini was kind of putting it on him, and Isaac Thompson was having moments in the grappling, but Brito's very good at defending takedowns. Jordan Levitt is takedown or bust. He has nothing for you on the feet. Just a feeble-minded guy on the feet, if you will. No idea what he's doing striking half of the time. He's never hit mitts in his life. And I don't know what he's doing in sparring either. There are dudes, I bet you Jordan Levitt's a guy where like they tell you, hey, you're sparring with Jordan Levitt today. You start laughing a little bit. You're like, okay, it's going to be a fun one at practice. You know what I mean? Jonas and Brito stuffed the takedowns, and then once Levitt started kind of emoting and smiling at him, then Brito put on that ninja choke that he did versus Jonathan Pierce. He did the same thing to Jordan Levitt. Nasty little submission here for Brito. Happy to see him win, and happy to see him get another kind of win to move himself up closer to the rankings, because I believe Brito's a top 15 featherweight in the world. So I like to see him get a ranked guy next. Maybe give him that Dan Ige matchup finally. Who knows? Let's move on to the final 2 women's fights, which you care a whole lot about. Jaisla Chavez versus Yannis Duban. I will admit I saw all 15 minutes of this, so 15 minutes I cannot get back in my life, but it is what it is. Pretty competitive fight. The commentary was acting like Yannis Duban was this monster. This girl beat taxi drivers and tomato cans in Venezuela, had the flukiest KO in Contender Series history, and went out there and lost. I mean, she lost the first 2 rounds. She had moments in round 3 when Chavez was gassed, which we also saw in the Contender Series. I don't really know what to say here, man. This is a classic women's MMA, 29-28. That is all you need to know. Nothing to write home about whatsoever. I think Chavez has some big power. She could be kind of interesting at flyweight if she can figure out her distance management a little bit better, but she won the fight 29-28. I mean, what the hell do you want me to talk about? So, Chavez won. Good for her. We're going to move on because I'm just not spending my time talking about this. Meanwhile, Katlyn Souza started off the card with a bang versus Ariane Carnelossi. Early on in this fight, very early because I didn't catch this live, I had to go back and watch it. Carnelossi was coming out there landing combos, man. Katlyn Souza looked a little stiff, a little timid. on the back foot. Carnelos is coming out with like 1-2-3s, like solid little jab cross, left hook, right hook situations where you're like, okay, you know what? This girl's kind of got hands. And then Katlyn Sosa decided, she looked almost mad whenever Carnelosi would hit her, and she was like, this is so fucking stupid, I just want to finish this girl. So she set her up with a big right hand over the ear, dropped Carnelosi, then as she's getting back up, eats a head kick to the face, which is, I cannot imagine how much that hurts, dude. That's got to be fucking awful in that situation, like a soccer kick almost. But puts her down, one follow-up shot. I had no problem with the stoppage. Great win for Katlyn Sosa. She looks like a girl that would have power, so it's good to see her display that power. And ultimately, we have displayed a beautiful, beautiful masterclass in talking about fights today. Because, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for the video. I hope you all enjoyed. Listen, recap today. We'll come up with something to talk about. We've obviously got Freedom 250 Fight Week. Even though it is not on America's birthday, it's on June 14th. I'd wonder what is on June 14th. Regardless, we have that White House card to talk about. If it rains, it storms, it'll be a lot of fun. There actually might be a chance I go to that thing just for the love of the game. So, who knows, man? We'll talk about that as the week goes on. We'll have videos Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, every single goddamn day, because that is what we do around here. I will see you all in the next one. Have a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Go and rest. Go be with your family. Go to a family dinner. Pay for that family dinner. Do that little dad check method where you fucking make the pencil sign or whatever. I will see you all in the next one. Have a beautiful day. Peace out, boys.